I've had the honor and the pleasure and gift of having known Elizabeth Taylor for a number of years. You know, you sit down with her, she slings hash, she sits there and cusses like a sailor, and she's hilarious.
I don't pretend to be Captain Weird, I just do what I do. I started out printing silkscreen t-shirts. I sold ink pens. I worked construction. I worked at a gas station. I pumped gas. I was a mechanic for a little bit. I went into sewers, down into sewer lines. I had a lot of somewhat unpleasant gigs for a time there. Simplicity, that's what I want. It's been a rare commodity for me for a number of years, but I enjoy being able to hang out with my girl, read the newspaper, and sit back and start to read a book by someone I admire, like Lawrence Cross or Christopher Hitchens. And that's it, simplicity, where the game of Hollywood doesn't exist. If there's any message to my work, it is ultimately that it's okay to be different, that it's good to be different, and that we should question ourselves before we pass judgment on someone who looks different, behaves different, talks different, is a different color. I'm not sure I'm an adult yet. I have this fear of clowns, so I think that if I surround myself with them, it will ward off all evil. I like the challenge of trying different things and wondering whether it's going to work or whether I'm going to fall flat on my face. I detest jokes. When somebody tells me one, I feel my IQ dropping. The brain cells start to disappear. But something is funny when the person delivering the line doesn't know it's funny or doesn't treat it as a joke. Maybe it comes from a place of truth, or it's a sort of rage against society. There's a drive in me that won't allow me to do certain things that are easy. I'm shy, paranoid, whatever word you want to use. I hate fame. I've done everything I can to avoid it. Puberty was very vague. I literally locked myself in a room and played guitar.
Here's the thing, if Donald Trump is elected President of the United States, in a kind of historical way, it's exciting because we will see the actual last President of the United States. It just won't work after that. With any part you play, there is a certain amount of yourself in it. There has to be, otherwise it's just not acting. It's lying. I've had the honor and the pleasure and gift of having known Elizabeth Taylor for a number of years. You know, you sit down with her, she slings hash, she sits there and cusses like a sailor, and she's hilarious. As a teenager I was so insecure. I was the type of guy that never fitted in because he never dared to choose. I was convinced I had absolutely no talent at all, for nothing, and that thought took away all my ambition too. The only creatures that are evolved enough to convey pure love are dogs and infants. I am doing things that are true to me. The only thing I have a problem with is being labeled. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I want to be an old man with a beer belly sitting on a porch, looking at a lake or something. Escapism is survival to me. People say I make strange choices, but they're not strange for me. My sickness is that I'm fascinated by human behavior, by what's underneath the surface, by the worlds inside people. People say I make strange choices, but they're not strange for me. My sickness is that I'm fascinated by human behavior, by what's underneath the surface, by the worlds inside people. I think the thing to do is enjoy the ride while you're on it. Tomorrow it'll all be over, then I'll have to go back to selling pens again. Life's pretty good, and why wouldn't it be? I'm a pirate, after all.